Okay, so this writer for the Federalist recently wrote a very shocking article on why Alabamians should vote for Roy Moore. Brace yourself. So the writer is Tully Borland, and okay, so the very first thing that says under the title, it quotes him saying, I have a 14-year-old daughter. If I caught Roy Moore doing what was alleged for starters, I would kick him where it counts. That said, I don't think it's wrong to vote for Moore. And now this guy is going to do his best to try to make the Roy Moore palatable by making some very disturbing and shocking rationalizations. Okay, so I'm going to quote him right here. Here is one thing we know and should admit from the start. In his early 30s, Moore had a penchant for dating teenagers. Apparently, this was not an uncommon occurrence during this time. In fact, this practice has a long history and is not without some merit if one wants to raise a large family. Okay, so Borland is rationalizing Moore dating teenagers while he's in his 30s. Oh my God. The political bar in this country has no bottom. Welcome to politics in Trump's America. I mean, holy shit. Okay, you think that's bad, that he's downplaying the fact that this was a guy who was attracted to girls less than half his age, because if he's 32, 14 is less than half your age. Oh my God. If you multiplied her age by twice, she would still be in her late 20s. Okay. So, this guy tries to he admits that Moore is a dirtbag and that he's lying about his actions and that he would find what Roy Moore did. And keep in mind, we're not talking about Roy Moore's savage fascistic politics, which on policy Roy Moore is a right-wing extremist. No doubt about that. We're just talking about the personal life of him, which is equally disturbing. Actually, it could somehow be more disturbing because this guy is a pedophile. Roy Moore is a pedophile. Okay, so, but he's downplaying that by saying, if elected, Moore would join the ranks of other undignified politicians who have been liars and fornicators. No. Perhaps he's a pedophile, and there should be no quarter for rapists, for some of the sexual misconduct that we've been hearing about from figures in powerful positions, be it politicians, media figures, Olympic doctors, presidents. Okay, now he tries to, so he's trying to draw a false neutrality between Roy Moore and some of the other politicians that have recently had allegations put out against them, except Roy Moore. He's one of the worst of the worst. I don't want to downplay what Al Franken did, but compare what Al Franken did to Roy Moore. There is no comparison. What Roy Moore did was undeniably worse. Roy Moore is a predator, according to these allegations. Al Franken is what he did was creepy and disturbing. If forcing Tweeden to kiss him and shoving his tongue down her throat, that's undeniably creepy. But Roy Moore preyed on teenage girls. 14 is barely a teenager. You're only a teenager for 2 years. Don't get it twisted. Okay, so now he's trying to make a case later in his story that Doug Jones is a moral monster. Okay, this should be good. Okay, so what's his argument on why Doug Jones is a moral monster? Oh, because he's pro-choice. Oh, of course. So the fact that he wants to protect women's autonomy to their own body by not forcing them to be a state-controlled incubator for babies. That's why Doug Jones is a monster, and you should do the unthinkable if you live in Alabama and vote for Roy Moore over him. Let's get this straight. Jones prosecuted KKK members that committed terrorism. Roy Moore is a fascistic pedophile. Doug Jones prosecuted 2 individuals responsible for a 1963 church bombing, which killed 4 black girls. And then, of course, Trump says, Doug Jones, soft on crime. Terrific, fantastic, bigly. Okay, that... Can't make this stuff up. Okay, so let's read more of this terrible article trying to downplay the terribleness of Roy Moore. Furthermore, there is no reason to think that Moore, as an old married man, is still trying to have sex with teens. All the accusations target his early 30s before he was married, but Jones supports infanticide in utero today. Virtue signaling Republicans condemning other Republicans for voting for Moore strike me as being more concerned about their own appearance than the seriousness of abortion and the mental state of someone supporting it. Yeah, that means a lot coming from you, who's trying to advocate people voting for Roy Moore. Okay, and let's think to some of these high-profile members that were taken down by accusations. So let's look at Kevin Spacey. Now, generally, there's these guys. There's no isolated incidences, and Roy Moore has a number of allegations against him. So he's trying to say Roy Moore became a family man. He might have been a pedophile for a while, but now he's a good family man. Excuse me? Nah. I would not be surprised that... Oh my God. So, this is... Okay, so... Because he got married, you think he stopped any of this? You think that he stopped being a friggin' creep? Hell no. And the idea that Doug Jones is a moral monster because he's pro-choice. Oh, he's pro-choice after because he doesn't want to put a ban on abortion after 20. This is a stupid moral argument. You're arguing, okay, for the protection of the babies, but you don't care about actual kids that Roy Moore preyed upon. Keep it classy. Keep it classy. Yeah, totally Borland. This was a disgusting article, and this was infuriating to read. All right, thank you for listening, everyone. Don't get swindled by this bullshit that we hear on a day-to-day basis, all this misinformation. Stay objective, stay factual, stay logical, and don't be a piece of shit. Thanks for listening.